A highly respected industry mainstay, this former MTV VJ boasts skills as an actor, comedian, club DJ, and radio personality. Before reaching his fame on MTV's highly rated 90s show, Yo MTV Raps, Ed Lover belonged to the eccentric and enigmatic hip-hop collective known as No Face. During his second year on Yo, No Face released their debut album, Wake Your Daughter Up, on their Def Jam Rush associated label, No Face Records. Ed Lover, along with partners Shaw and Mark Sex, were the first label to give noted director Hype Williams a shot at video directing. When MTV got wind of the adult content of Wake Your Daughter Up, Ed Lover was given an ultimatum by MTV brass to either leave No Face or leave MTV. Due to his power to program the videos on Yo, the group decided it would be in the best interest of the label if Ed stayed on at MTV. As a result, there are no pictures, credits, or mention of Ed Lover on the album. However, if you listen, Ed is clearly heard all over the project. Ed and his partner Dr. Dre continued to co-host Yo MTV Raps, which became the mainstream platform for 90s rap music videos, introducing hip-hop culture to the world. The Ed and Dre alliance led to hosting the nationally syndicated The Morning Show with Ed, Lisa, and Dre on New York City's own Hot 97. Being the first all-hip-hop morning show in the country gave birth to all hip-hop nations to follow. In 1993, Ed Lover went on to co-star and write the story for New Line Cinema's largely successful movie, Who's the Man? The duo released the certified gold album, Back Up Off Me, Back Up Off Me, as well as the book Naked Under Our Clothes. The duo continued to release music, act, and perform together for well over a decade. Today, Ed Lover continues to impact entertainment across all platforms. He has appeared as an actor on According to Jim, The Jamie Foxx Show, The Cosby Show, and most recently, USA Network smash hit Psych. He has appeared as a host of HBO's KO Nation, as well as the cult classic Battle Dome. He continues to perform as a stand-up comedian all over the country, and his highly popular show, Ed Lover and Friends, recently sold out the world-famous Caroline's Comedy Club in NYC. Just being me, staying grounded, my family and belief in God is what has sustained me up until this point, says Ed about his ability to be successful in entertainment. Ed has mastered his use of in-depth industry knowledge to continue his pop culture commentary and comedy performances, most notably through his hilarious and poignant web series, Come On Son, which pokes fun at pop culture, celebrities, politics, and the world. Ed has garnered over 5 million YouTube page views with Come On Son, a Facebook fan page with over 150,000 subscribers, and a following of over 200,000 on Twitter. The series can also be seen on E1 Entertainment's comedy platform, Certified Funny, keeping the funny man connected to his fan base and reinventing himself in front of a younger audience. The older folks know me from Yo. The younger folks always yell, "Come on, son," when they see me. Ed's love of comedy and entertainment has led him to successfully host on all 3 major radio stations in New York City, Hot 97, Power 105, and the now-defunct 98.7 Kiss FM. He continues to entertain the world via Sirius XM satellite radio show, Backspin, Channel 6 television, film, and commercial appearances. Recently inducted to the Hollis Queens Hip Hop Hall of Fame, Ed Lover continues to lead as a unique icon in the world of entertainment, analyzing trends one laugh at a time. Ladies and gentlemen, help me introduce Mr. Ed Lover.
Good afternoon, folks. To God be the glory all the time, and thank you all for coming out today, and thank you to Albany State for having me here today to talk with you. Today I wanted to, first of all, I want to just give big props to Regina Bradley, PhD. She is definitely a hard act to follow. So can you give another nice round of applause, please? Absolutely amazing, and I found myself transfixed on every word that she said, and we'll exchange numbers with her because I'm going to make sure that she meets Outkast, because Outkast and I are really good friends, so that wouldn't be a problem for me. But today I wanted to talk about the fantasies and the realities of the music business. The fantasies and the realities of the music business stem back to way before I was born. Stem back to my parents' favorite artists, favorite musicians, favorite everything. There's always been a fantasy and a reality to the music business, and especially hip hop. I am hip hop. I am hip hop personified. I am hip hop in the flesh. You are looking at hip hop. Hip hop, actually, music, but especially hip hop saved my life. Without hip hop, I would have probably got locked up a long time ago. There was one point in my life where I was definitely on the wrong path, in the streets, doing what I wanted to do, not listening to my parents. I come from a great background, two parents household. And for a minute, the streets got me a little bit, but it was hip hop and my love of the music and my love of being an MC that really kind of steered me along on the right path. And I was telling some of the students earlier today, I said, one of the students in particular, the worst thing that I ever did was stop playing trumpet. I was a musician for a long time, and from music, it became a top 40 band when I was young, and music just continued, and then MTV, I saw MTV Raps on television, and I saw the name Ted Demme on top of that, and I said, I know Ted. I fellowship with Ted in church, and let me give Ted a call. I gave Ted a call, and then after a while, I just kept bugging Ted about me being on MTV. Let me get on your MTV Raps for Fab Five Freddy, because no one knows more about hip hop than I do. So when they decided to do a daily show, Ted gave me a call and said, you have to come in and audition. I came in and auditioned. Ted had the foresight of putting Dr. Dre and I together, and the rest is history. But I didn't know a lot about the business. I didn't know a lot about MTV. I didn't know anything really about business. So when we went in and we decided to do it, Ted said, MTV has $1,000 a week, and they want both of y'all, so y'all have to split $1,000 a week. So we were like, fine, well, I'll take 500, he'll take 500. We used to do 5 shows a week, and for the first 2 years of us doing MTV, Dr. Dre and I were not afforded a dressing room. Everybody else had a dressing room. We had to change clothes 5 times, but we didn't have a dressing room. We used to step behind the set and put our clothes on. And every time I used to walk out in the street and someone used to see me, they'd go, here come my man Ed, he's on MTV, boy, I know you rich, I know you rich. I had a car that didn't have reverse. I wasn't rich by any stretch of the imagination, but because I was on television and because I was in the music business, I was rich. Had to be rich, had to be getting money. It wasn't until we hired Leon Cohen, who was the head of Rush Management, as our manager, that Dr. Dre and I got any kind of suitable contract from MTV. The fantasy was that I'm on TV 5 days a week, I gotta be paid. The reality was, I wasn't paid. And the fantasy and the reality still exists to this day in the music business. Most people don't know Tupac died with little to no money in his bank account. Most people don't know that Miss Wallace, Biggie's mom, only got money from Puff because of the embarrassment factor. Biggie died with little to no money in his bank account. Couldn't pay for the funeral costs by herself, so Puff picked up the bill. But Big didn't have any money. He had $1 million videos. They ran around, they talked about more money, more problems. He was on a speedboat going backwards. There was motorcycle chases. But the reality was, Big really didn't have any money. There's a lot of young people that used to watch MTV Cribs all the time. This guy got this, and this artist has this, and this artist has that. A lot of times the record companies rent the houses just for MTV Cribs. The fantasy, they ballin', they got it. The reality, they don't have it. And the reason this exists is because most people that get into hip hop, especially on a performance side of things, don't know the business. They don't know the business. I tell people all the time, it's just like anything else. If you want to know something, if you want to be good at something, you have to study it. You have to study the business. This has been going on for so many, many years. Back to when Berry Gordy used to give the Temptations a Cadillac in lieu of giving them publishing. There was only 2 men that walked away from Motown with any kind of publishing, and the publishing is where you make your money. If you write a song, you get your publishing, you own that publishing, that's where you make your money. 2 men, Stevie Wonder, Smokey Robinson. The only one that kept their publishing. Berry Gordy took everybody else's publishing. Get your car. Yeah, got a brand new Cadillac for you outside. What about my publishing? It's a Cadillac outside for you. But what about my publishing? It's a Cadillac outside for you. Oh, I'll take the Cadillac. You never take the Cadillac in lieu of the money. If you don't know the business, you are going to get caught up in the business. Most of the artists that you love today, young people in the room, are feeding you a fantasy. 9 times out of 10, they're going to end up broke because they don't know the business. They don't know the business. There's nobody to teach them the business. And even if they come to get a large sum of money, a lot of times they lose that money. Why? Because most of us don't come from money, so we had nobody to teach us how to handle money. A lot of times they're steered into the wrong direction, whereas the record company will recommend an attorney for them. The record company will recommend a tax advisor or financial planner for them, and they will go with what the record company tells them. The fantasy and the reality of the music business is really mind-boggling sometimes. You don't know the business. When you become an artist, you get signed to a record label. Back in the days when the record label signed you, they would give you a budget for your album. You take your budget for your album, you go in, you record. Everything that you record comes out of your budget for your album. Then the record company has to recoup every dime that they spent on you before you see a profit. Now, your profit is points. It's on a point system. You get a certain amount of points. A certain amount of points is worth a certain amount of money. But there was also always, what most people didn't know, a return policy on your record. So every record that you don't sell that comes back gets charged back against your account. So say you blow up. Got a hit record that's on the radio. Record company comes to you, we got to go on a promo tour. How are we going to go on a promo tour? Don't worry about it, we'll take care of it. So they take you around, they're flying you from city to city. There's cars that's picking you up. You're going from here to there. Every time you go to dinner, your record rep reaches in his pocket, pulls out the corporate card, puts it on the table. Don't worry about it. I only take 5 of my boys with me. Yeah, bring your boys. Yeah, we're going to stay in 5-star hotels all the way. All of that goes against your royalties before you see a dime. Every single dime that they spend on you, every hotel you stay in, every time you take your boys, every stylist they get for you that makes your clothes, even down to the plastic shrink wrapping on the old CDs and the jewel cases are charged against your account, not their account, your account. And if you don't know the business, you probably don't know that you're getting pennies on every record that's sold. So until they recoup all of their money, you don't see anything. There have been artists that have sold 10 million records and never gotten a royalty check from a record company because they cost them so much money to promote it, and then they cook the books. You're not controlling the books, they cooking the books. So you are never going to see a dime. The majority of the money that's made today from artists is from their live performances. Now here's where it gets funky. The record companies have done something that they now call the 360-degree deal, which was put together by a very good friend of mine, former president of Def Jam, Mr. Kevin Liles. The 360 deal is this. Who are you? You're nobody. Who are we? We're a company. We put everything behind you to make you a big star. So why should we only profit from your record sales? Now we profit from everything. We get a percentage of your live shows. If you do a TV show, we get a part of that check. If you do a TV commercial, we get a part of that. Everything that you do, if you sign with a liquor company and the liquor company gives you $50,000 to promote their brand, you got to give us a piece of that too. That's the 360-degree deal. Everything you do now, when you sign, the record company gets a piece of it. The fantasy looks great. Oh, we'll take you to the jewelry store. We'll take you to the jeweler. We got the jeweler. We know the jeweler. You want a big Jesus piece with diamonds in it? I know the jeweler. I'm going to take you down to the Diamond District, and I'm going to get you that. You want such and such to direct your video? I know him. I'll get him to direct your video. And we're going to pay him $60,000 to direct your video. So the video director gets the $60,000. We're going to say your chain costs $100,000. That's what we're going to bill to you. But in reality, we're only going to pay $50,000 for it. And then the jeweler is going to kick me back $10,000. And the video director is going to kick me back $20,000 for throwing the work their way in the first place. And all of that is going to be charged back to your account. All of that. Tupac lived in a space that was beautiful. I rode through Atlanta many times with Tupac and his Bentley. When Tupac died, it got snatched back because Suge Knight and Death Row owned it. He didn't pay for it. He didn't have to worry about his bills. It was all taken care of. Do whatever you want to do. You ball out if you want to. Go out and spend. Here's a corporate card. Spend all the money you want to. But all of that is going to be taken back before you see any money. The fantasy of the music business is what's alluring. The carrot is always dangled in front of your face. You could be the next Jay-Z. You could be the next Beyonce. The reality is, it's a 1 in a billion shot that that's going to happen to you. The reality is, most of the time, you're going to end up with little to nothing at all, because that's the way it operates. What you have to understand is that hip-hop now is a business. When I came up in hip-hop wasn't a business. We were doing it because I wanted to be the best. That's it. We were doing it because you shunned me when I was coming around, so I made a record against your whole entire crew. KRS-One built his career off the fact that Mr. Magic and them didn't want to play his records. The same thing with Public Enemy. Mr. Magic said, nah, we're not playing that. There's no more music by the suckers. And they took that and they built upon it. The bridge is over. The bridge is over. Going directly at Shan's marquee artist, MC Shan, because Mr. Magic and them didn't want to play their records, and Red Alert decided to play their records. I want to be the best. I want to be the best. I grew up in Hollis, Queens. Run DMC, LL Cool J. Wanted to be the best. It had nothing to do with money. If you go back and look at them old videos, you really don't see those dudes wearing too many big chains, and half the time their sneakers don't even match what they have on, because it was done for the love of the music. Once corporate America got their hands on hip-hop, hip-hop became a business. And once you get yourself involved in business, you have to know the rules of the business. You have to know how the business is played out. Music has always been a business, but hip-hop became a business once people realized that hip-hop is a viable form of music, that millions and millions and millions of kids from around the world buy hip-hop. And a lot of